The Lyell Highway winds through the heart of the Wild Rivers National Park, which lies in the heart of the Franklin-Gordon Rivers Tasmanian wilderness. Halfway between Strahan and Hobart, where the road crosses the Derwent River, is the town of Derwent Bridge. We parked up for the night in the hotel car park and enjoyed the beautiful hotel. At Derwent Bridge is the Wall in the Wilderness, an ambitious art project created by Greg Duncan. Greg has carved the history of Tasmanian highlands in 100 metres of timber, most of which is rare native Huon pine. The beautifully carved works set out in relief sculpture depict the history, hardship and perseverance of the people in the Central Highlands. The actual images carved into the wall in the wilderness are not available for photography, so you have to be content with these few odd sculptures around the car park. Just south of Hobart, at the head of the Huon Valley, we spent a night in Longley, a town somewhat dominated by the Longley Hotel.
I am very spoiled to have a pretty good cook as my travelling companion. Tim is pretty switched on in the kitchen and I don't make too bad of a kitchen hand. So since we're in Grafton, as we bought herbs, a bit of mint, some chives, some rosemary, we've been keeping a little herb garden as we go. Our last little herb garden we left back in Wodonga before we came to Tasmania, because Tasmania have quite strict quarantine regulations and you're not allowed to bring them into Tasmania. So early on in our travels, when we stayed with a schoolmate of Tim's at Wattle Hill, what's his name? Wayne and Sue Shanowa's place. Sue was kind enough to give me some little pots and some herbs. There was some thyme, some rosemary, some chives and some parsley, I think. And so we've been nurturing these all along and we've enjoyed a few herbs in some meals. But, you know, we've got 4 little pots that we put in a box and sit outside so that they're not in the way. So we tend to sit them outside when we're camped up under the edge of the caravan. And I brought them in last night ready to pack up to go, and I didn't take much notice, but I've looked at them this morning and I'll just show you. Morning, Tim.
Morning.
The night before we'd had some little visitors. These were lovely long chives, but we've had some little visitors, some Potoroos, or they're called paddy melons over here, who obviously likes the gourmet taste and has chewed them all down. So
Except for the sage.
it's time.
No time, except for
It's time. Well, some of the time's gone as well. So so we're sort of thinking we can take them back to Victoria in 2 weeks' time. They're not going to grow in 2 weeks' time while we're over here. We're not going to be able to take them into South Australia because although you can take herbs, you can't take the soil that they're in. So it's time to say goodbye to our little herb garden.
Franklin is a small township on the western side of the Huon River, where life proceeds at about the same pace as the river. In the mid-19th century, Franklin was thriving and seemingly on the way to becoming the 3rd town of importance in Tasmania. Unfortunately, Franklin's extensive apple orchards, timber harvesting and paper production have not fared well in the modern world. The town does retain many of its original early 19th century wooden buildings, reminders of its past and contributors to its retained charm. And then there is the Wooden Boat Centre, community-owned, member-led organisation creating awareness and appreciation of wooden boat building methods. They promote the craft at festivals and events in partnership with similar organisations. A number of boat building courses are offered, up to a year's duration, accommodating students who wish to gain skills under experienced tutors to those who want to build their own project. This beautiful traditional speedboat has been built from scratch by the students and is currently for sale to support the school's future. And here is a project that's just on a frightening scale. The southernmost administrative centre in Australia, historically Geeveston was economically dependent on the local timber industry. For nearly 100 years, the surrounding southern forests fed sawmills and an AMP pulp mill. Today, it's a town driven by tourism. It's a triumph with every street featuring statues of local people carved out of timber, with shops and businesses in the town thriving on tourism. At the end of the main street is the remarkable Forest and Heritage Centre, which has an impressive display recounting the history of the timber industry in the local area. It's also the town visitor centre, and here's Sue enjoying one of the exhibits. If you recognise any of this town, it may be because from 2016 to 2021, the town hosted the filming of the comedy series Rosehaven, as seen on ABC TV, Australia's answer to The Truman Show. We spent some time here exploring the town and the surrounding areas, so if you want to see platypus in the wild, carved statues and the southernmost point of Tasmania, see our next video.